forward from New York City, number 19, senior Mie Dench. A forward from Toronto, Ontario, number 22, freshman Caitlin C. A defenseman from Taunton, Massachusetts, number 20, senior Michelle Picard. And in goal tonight for the Crimson from Bruderheim, Alberta, number 38, senior Emirates Mashmeyer. And the rest of the Crimson of Harvard. The head coach of the Crimson is Kate Stone. The assistant coaches are Liz Key and Lee J. Mirasello. Now, introducing the starters for your RPI Engineers. Off forward from Belleville, Ontario, number 15, junior Laura Horwood. Off forward from Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania, number 11, senior Alexa Brushaw. Off forward from Guilford, New Hampshire, number 14, sophomore Shayna Tomlinson. A defenseman from Copenhagen, Denmark, number 9, freshman Josephine Hansen. A defenseman from New London, New Hampshire, number 12, senior Jen Godin. In goal tonight for the Engineers from Sollentuna, Sweden, number 35, freshman Lovisa Selander. And the rest of the RPI Engineers. The head coach of the Engineers in his 13th season is John Burke. The assistant coaches are Christy Cicero and Jake Anderson. Ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you please rise for the playing of the Canadian National Anthem. Ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you remain standing for the presentation of the National Anthem of the United States by the Rusty Pipes.
Stripes and bright stars.
Rusty Pipes, ladies and gentlemen. Nice job, folks. Thank you.
Good evening, hockey fans. Welcome to the Houston Fieldhouse for tonight's ECAC hockey matchup between the Harvard Crimson and the Engineers of RPI. Perry Lascaris, joined in a bit by Jeff Morris here on RPI TV. And it's a big one between RPI and Harvard to get the weekend started. Every game seemingly a playoff game for RPI, trying to make it into the Final 8, or stay in the Final 8 as they currently are now. We are underway at the Houston Fieldhouse. RPI in white, the Harvard Crimson in black with crimson and white trim. It's Laura Horwood out of the corner. It's poked free by Picard rather. Michelle Picard, the senior from Taunton, Mass. Works it around behind. Pinching up the boards is freshman Josephine Hansen, but the puck's out to center, and here comes Harvard right away. Back-checking Horwood, broken up for a second. Good stick by Tomlinson, steers it away, and it's senior Jen Godin from New London, New Hampshire, to work it away. Alexa Gruschow battles now for the puck in the corner. This is a shot came, and Solander made the save. Lovisa Solander, the freshman netminder from Sollentuna, Sweden, in there for RPI in this one. And she has been for much of the year. Here's Hansen getting free. She'll work it up the wall. Horwood trying to get out of the zone. This is still the first shift for a number of Engineers, including Jen Godin, who works it up the wall. Tomlinson can't get it out of there, as it's kept in neatly along the boards by Jessica Harvey. Here's Godin now for the Engineers. 9 assists on the season for Jen Godin. Her and her 5 classmates, I should say, will celebrate Senior Day tomorrow afternoon against Dartmouth. We'll find out more about this team's postseason fate here this evening. Katie Rooney had a very hot January. She was the ECAC Hockey Player of the Month, picking up 13 points in the process, the most of any player in Division I college hockey outside of Northeastern, who had 4 players above her in that department, but the best in the conference. That won her Player of the Month. It's Rooney in the corner with it, the junior from Buffalo, Minnesota. She does battle with Chelsea Zadie. Harvard looking to work it out, and they get it past Whitney Wren to center. Engineers regather there. Amanda Kimmerly on for Rooney. Just touching up there was Menke. Shot and a save by Emmerance Mashmeyer. The senior netminder for Harvard comes into play today with a 10-9 record, 1.85 goals against, 9.41 save percentage. All very solid there. Michelle Picard, captain, back to picking up for Harvard. Off the wall, controlled there by Thomas. McKenna Thomas up the boards, keeps it alive. As it's played by Picard. To the wall and now out to center ice. Taking a change there will be Lexi Lang and her group. As McKenna Thomas lets it run, kept in along the boards by the Crimson. Daniels off the wall. Cycling and working it out there is Heffernan. Heffernan trying to play it off the back of the net. Comes free to the corner, some space now for Sydney Daniels. Handed off for Heffernan. Turned to the wall, wrist shot coming. That was stopped by Solander. on the try from the boards by Caitlin C. Now another shot stopped by Solander, another tight angle shot, not a lot to shoot at there. As it's Hansen up the boards and all the way down. This will be icing on RPI. Not quite the start the Engineers were looking for this evening. 16:26 on the clock, first period. No score. Joined by Jeff Morris here. And Jeff, big couple games here for RPI.
Yeah, you're right, Perry. Nothing like one of the last couple weekends to really figure out where you're going to go for the ECAC. I mean, a lot can happen here, especially tonight and tomorrow for the women. They're either out of it or they're in a good position.
We'll find out what happens more as we talked about with tomorrow's game against Dartmouth, a team that's chasing the Engineers. Walking it out in front, a stop on a try, that time by Kate Hallett. As she was denied another tight angle shot. The Engineers are keeping things to the wings early on from Harvard. Engineers want to get a full line shift, and they do as freshman Jamie Grigsby dumps it in. Harvard has it here. As Racklin moves it up the boards, this will wave off the icing as Hannah Bohanek will skate back to her own end. Bohanek having a great year offensively. 10 points on 3 goals and 7 assists for RPI, the junior from Minnetonka, Minnesota. Back comes Harvard, however. As that was Krischik moving into the zone. Tie up in the corner. Bohanek's in there for RPI. Krischik works it out to the center of the zone, but only Engineers there, including Brandy Banks, will move it out to center ice. Horwood could not stay on side. Engineers need to touch up. Now into the zone come the Crimson. Just eluded the stick of Lang. It's played behind. Audrey Warner. Lost it in the corner. Mari Mankey's all wrapped up. Mankey continues to do battle. Get some help from Kimberly. And now here's Whitney Wren, the sophomore from Troy, Michigan. Works it off for Rooney. Now Wash stick handling through center. Bouncing puck slaps it into the zone. Rooney goes into the wall with Picard. Sweeping in to take it away. Heffernan. And right just like that, the Crimson are out to center. Warner into the RPI zone. Drop pass. Nice defensive play there as Heffernan had it knocked off her stick and out to center as the Harvard Crimson dump it right back in. Rooney on for Marissa Raspa. A sophomore winger from Downingtown, Pennsylvania dumps it in, and it's Harvard once more back to center ice. Sydney Daniels, the junior from Southwick, Mass, takes the shot. That was blocked. Rebound turned away. And now it's going to be Bohanek stick handling. Lost it there. On for Grigsby. To center ice. Into the corner. She's taken by Natasha Racklin. But coming out of the corner is Tomlinson. On for Wren. Moving in. Fed to the side of the net. Gruschow, the team's top scorer. 20 points on the season for Gruschow. Makes a move into the slot. Fed to the point now. Here's Wren. Some space. A shot coming. Saved by Maschmeyer. She swats the rebound behind. Another centering pass. One-time try by Horwood. And that puck didn't sit for her. Good pressure by the Engineers here early on in this first period. Not quite 7 minutes in. Tomlinson now in the corner. Trying to move it back to the point. Over to help out Horwood. Bouncing puck will skip to the circle along the far side, allowing the Crimson to move it out. It's Mie Dench. 31 points on the season for the New York City native. But the Engineers are right back into the zone. Tomlinson from Horwood, now back to Laura Horwood. Missed a good chunk of the season, 10 games. She's in there. Offensive threat for the Engineers. Fired in by Hansen to the corner. Here's Horwood. Looking to work it down low. Wash comes away with it. Lauren Wash, stick handling around the net. Fed to the point. Hansen nearly ran into Wash. Wash goes down. Puck gloved to center. This will be a hand pass on RPI. No, it won't. Looked pretty clear from here, but the Engineers get the benefit there of dumping the puck right back in. Rooney goes hard into the sidewall as Mankey keeps the play alive in the offensive zone. Helped around behind to the near side board by Mastel, and now into RPI territory. They will wave off the icing as Brandy Banks skates it down. The senior blue liner out of Burlington, Ontario. Banks on it now. A little bit of pressure from behind comes from Krischek. But it's going to be Rooney to navigate through center. That puck was tipped at the line. They wave it off. Good call. As Picard picks it up for the Crimson. Right back into their own zone it goes. Tracked down there by Abby Fraser, junior from Hudson, Quebec. To the line and out. Lindsay Hilwa corrals it, lays it off for Amanda Kimmerly, and on now for Allie Tremblay. Tremblay into the offensive zone, tied up, lost the puck. Nice little flip out to center from Heffernan, and here comes Harvard into the zone. Daniels, a slapper coming, stick save made, rebound. It sat there for a second, but Grushaw worked it out of there. On for Tomlinson. Engineers want to go back the other way in a hurry. Tomlinson to the net, backhand flip in front, looking for Grushaw, just couldn't get there. Puck towards center ice. And there. Tie up in the corner. Grushaw trying to work it out for Horwood. And it's stolen away by the Crimson. Mie Dench to center. Good read there by Hansen to break up the play. As it's tapped to center ice, and Marissa Raspa has it there. Good play on for Mankey. Mankey into the zone, centering pass for Wash, comes through to Bohonic. Her backhander off the back of the net. Shot around behind by Bradley Fusco. And now Raspa lays the stick on the ice to slow up the Harvard breakout, but here they are anyway. Moving into the zone, that time was Mastel, the defenseman. The Engineers cut that off and shoot it back the other way. Not enough on it for icing. Frazier now for Harvard. Up the boards, right in front of the bench. Nice move by Krischek to get free, and now into the zone is Lang. Drop pass coming. Shot was blocked, and the Engineers look to skate the other way. Lauren Wash could be a 2-on-1 if Thomas hurries. Into the zone is Wash. On for Thomas. Loose in the circle. Kimberly trying to turn and shoot it. She was kind of in no man's land there. Couldn't corral the puck anyway. Shot off the boards by Krischek. Or Zaretsky, rather. And now a puck shot all the way down. It would be icing, but it's on goal, so wave it off. Poke behind the net. Battling for it, Heffernan. And now it skips on out to the point. Horwood. Trying to work it around Picard. Help comes, and it'll be moved out of the zone. Dench. On for Daniels. Pulls it back, spins around. Bohonic trying to steal the puck away and does. Good play by Hannah Bohonic. And now Horwood on the feed from Tomlinson. On further. This is Bohonic on the attack now. Teammates changing behind her. She'll work it back up the wall. Falling down on the play was Mankey, but she continues to battle for the puck in Harvard territory. Shots are 6-2 Crimson early on here with 8:09 to play in the first period. No real solid scoring chance either way. As Rooney tries to work it into the slot, stolen away and out of danger by Zadie. That's Chelsea Zadie, the sophomore from Pointe Claire, Quebec. And now Racklin turned over at the line. A chance for making a feed in front for Rooney. That shot was blocked by Picard in front, or make it Zadie rather, who did the blocking in front of Maschmeyer. 1-on-5 into the zone. Not good odds that time for Lang, and the Engineers turn it right back the other way, or make it Friesen for Harvard. Crimson take over at their own blue line. Mastel across for Zadie, and now into the RPI zone. Wrist shot coming, saved by Solander. Another tight angle shot that time was stopped as it came off the stick of Frazier, and now back comes RPI. Thomas was tied up and just barely got that shot away. Krischik did the defending. Grigsby taps it out to center. Turn right back around by Harvard. Picard one-hands it into the zone. Out of the corner, Hansen, a nice move to get free, although Lexi Lang lifts the stick and Harvard stays on the attack. Centering pass too far out in front of the intended target, and that'll send Tomlinson back the other way for RPI, firing it in before being met by Picard. Caitlin C. are on behind for Picard. They'll try the far side once more. It's C. Overskates the puck. Tomlinson closes. Horwood nearly picked it away, but it is Harvard back to center ice. It's Audrey Warner into the RPI zone. Bohanek, the first one to it. Mankey has to wait for it, helps it out to center ice. Turned right back around by Heffernan. To the line and kicked in. Heffernan spun to the ice and she is down. Bohanek had some trouble with it in her skates. Bouncing puck at center. Tomlinson can't find it either. And now Daniels tried a little toe drag around Bohanek. Got it through. Now a shot by Dench and a glove save is made by Tomlinson. Looked like she saw that puck pretty well from our vantage point.
Yeah, Perry, this game might end up over in an hour 40 if this keeps happening.
Yeah, we haven't a whole lot of stoppages. They dropped the puck here on a defensive zone faceoff for the Engineers. Zadie shoots it in. Kept in along the far side. That puck was up on edge, and a try by Daniels was blocked. Back comes Katie Rooney for RPI, looking to improve on her January. Shot came trickling in, and it goes wide of goal. Dench can't clear the zone. Thomas hooked a bit. Penalty coming up here as it's played behind, and it'll be touched by the Crimson, where I believe it was a hooking call or a high stick maybe.
Yeah, the stick was definitely horizontal up in the midsection of Thomas. She draws the call.
I believe it's going to be high sticking. Nope, it's going to be a hook.
You're right. Yeah, horizontal stick. Horizontal stick across the midsection there, so Nikki Friesen will go to the box for 2 minutes.
Power play time for RPI. The Engineers not good on the man advantage this year. 10 for 113. That's 8.8%. Harvard's penalty kill 90.3%, so nothing really has to give here. Horwood over to Godin. Back to Horwood. One-timer coming. Fired wide. Loose on the top of the crease. It's swatted away by Picard. That was in a dangerous spot, and Maschmeyer didn't know where it was. The Engineers regather in their own zone. 4:40 to play in the first period. First power play chance for either team as the puck's out to center. Tomlinson touches it behind Gruschow. And then now it's Godin. On for Horwood. Couldn't quite corral it. Uses that long reach to poke it in deep. That one shot into Horwood's body by Picard. And now Tomlinson. Tap to the slot. Nobody home. Daniels fires it all the way down. Halfway through the power play. Shots are 9-3 Harvard in the game. And this is going to be an icing on the Engineers. Not what they're looking for with the man advantage.
No, it's Greek night here at the Fieldhouse. All the Greek organizations coming out to support the women and their last home weekend here for the ECAC.
Face off, kept in, or not kept in, but moved back in by the Crimson. As we're now under 4 to play in the period. Shot into the attacking zone. First one to it will be Zarzecki for Harvard. That one skips by Mankey. And now here comes Harvard shorthanded. Lang. Shot coming high over the top. And that will allow the Engineers to move it back the other way, 2-on-2. Still a power play from there, 20 seconds. It's going to be Rooney. Has it poked free by C. Now to the point, some space for the Engineers to work. Hansen, one-timer by Honeck. And that one, again, a puck just sitting up on edge a bit, and Honeck did not catch it cleanly. It shot up over the net. Draw coming in the Harvard zone. One back by the Crimson. C had it knocked away. And now C up the wall, out of the box. Comes Friesen. And back to even are the Crimson. Into the zone, it's Kimmerly. Out of her own end, she'll shoot it around for Raspa. Up the boards on further for Ali Tremblay, or make it Lindsay Hilwa. Tapped into the RPI zone on the deflection by Warner. High in the air, look out in the crowd. Some fans not paying attention, could have caught a puck there, but as the case stands, actually, this Greek night, Jeff, has provided a pretty solid crowd for this game. I didn't realize it until I looked down.
Yeah, there's people there. They're paying attention. One lucky fan got one.
One fan was paying attention. His friend nearly caught one, though.
The flow of this game has been very interesting. It's been a lot of run and gun here, which is something that we haven't really seen lately at the Fieldhouse for the women.
Puck at the side of the net, and that was Lang who went into the post, and the puck stayed out. Now a race for it in Harvard territory. Frazier the first one there. She'll skate around with it. Well, can't get the puck to settle. Now it's poked on out to center ice. A chance to break 2-on-1 though. Lexi Lang into the middle, a backhand pass across, and maybe should have looked to shoot there as Zarzecki was preoccupied with the defender in front of her. Now Tomlinson, drop pass Grusha, lots of room, shot coming, glove save by Maschmeyer. She just got enough of it to keep it out. Daniels along the boards. Now Hansen. Played up the boards, and nice play at the line by Godin to break it up. Horwood, stick handling through center. Stolen away by Daniels. Sydney Daniels into the zone. Richter wide. And the shot behind by Heffernan. Golden steals it away. Godin off the side of the net. Here is Hansen. On for Laura Horwood. Some pressure comes. She shoots it up the boards. Picard will track it down in her own end. Coming up on a minute to go in the first period. No score. RPI and Harvard. Engineers will be paying attention to Dartmouth, who is at Union tonight. The winless Dutch women could really do the Engineers a favor and come up with some kind of result in that game, whether it be a tie or something they haven't been able to do all year was pick up a win, but never too late for the first one, I guess, if you're Union. And that Dartmouth team has given RPI trouble throughout the last few years. There's a slap shot way wide off the stick of Krischik. Bouncing puck at the line. Kimmerly moves it in. And it's played up the boards with 13 seconds to go in the period. Lexi Lang knocked away by Grigsby. Fed up the boards for Wash. Maybe one more chance here, although it's turned right back around. Wash needs to touch up. Played into the zone by Grigsby, and that will do it for the first period. Shots 10-4 Harvard after one. But Jeff, no real solid scoring chances either direction. It seemed like, even though we had a lot of skating back and forth.
Yeah, there's a lot of room through the neutral zone, except for the last rush, of course, where things got gummed up there. But aside from the last 30 seconds, there's been a ton of room in the neutral zone, and both teams making quality breakout plays of their own end. There's just been no established forecheck from either team down below the goal line, down along the half wall. So both teams able to break out successfully, reverse successfully behind the net, and get going with some speed through their blue lines. And even though the shots are in Harvard's favor by 6, I think there's been room on both sides for both offenses.
With that, we'll take a quick break and be back with our second period. You're watching RPI Women's Hockey on RPI TV. underway here in period number 2. It's RPI and Harvard from the Houston Fieldhouse. Josephine Hansen through center. On for Shayna Tomlinson. A slap shot coming. Mashmeyer with a glove save. And she'll hold on to it there. Shot by Godin was blocked by Daniels. Tomlinson. Behind the net, Heffernan. Long outlet pass too far for the intended target. Lang, this will head wide of goal and will be played by Solander. They wave off the icing. Mankey up the boards, on for Wash. She takes a whack there from Friesen. Carried on behind the net by Zadie. And that's too far for Friesen. Bohonic turns it back towards Brandy Banks. Banks through center, poked on by Wash, controlled by Zadie. Tapped into the RPI zone by Daniels. Right back out come the Engineers. Mankey tipped into the zone again, this time deeper by Wash. And the first one to it will be Racklin. Helped to the corner by Mashmeyer. Friesen can't clear. Puck pinned against the boards by Wash's skate. Rooney over there as well, digs it out, works it back towards Banks at the point. And now we continue to scrum along, now puck in deep. It'll be Zadie for Harvard. Stolen away for a second there by Rooney, but couldn't get the shot off. As it's corralled by Racklin. To center ice, Banks rips it right back in. Still offside was Hilwa, and Thomas now realizing needs to touch up as well. 2 minutes into the second period. No score here, Harvard and RPI. Bradley Fusco into the RPI zone. Puck dettens in the corner. Played behind by Kimmerly. Good corral there by Wren. Bouncing puck to center ice. Controlled by Lang. Stolen by Thomas, who slaps it high in the air. It'll come down in the corner. Now back into RPI territory. Good defensive play by Hansen. She lost her stick in the process, but knocked the puck loose. Now Grushaw gets stood up at the line. Tomlinson's centering pass. That one hit a leg. And it's carried towards center ice. Lang, near side. Zarzecki, knocked from her. Behind the net now, Lexi Lang, the sophomore from Marblehead, Mass. 5 goals, 10 assists for 15 points on the season for her. Behind for Zarzecki. He's a former Chicago Mission player. The Engineers have had their share of former Mission Chicagoans coming through here. Chicago, that's not right. Chicagites? I should know this. Chicagoans. Chicagoans? Folks from Chicago. I think, are they called Chicagoans? Jeff, you know?
What do I look like, a Midwest guy?
Well, I am. This is why I'm a little bit disappointed in myself.
Yeah, look no deeper than yourself. Chicagoans.
That's what I would go with.
I would go with that.
We're going with it.
I've never even been there.
Never been there.
Ever.
That's a nice spot.
Just in the airports.
Oh, O'Hare. That's people don't like O'Hare. I like O'Hare. Anyway, out of the corner, puck is popped to the point. Here's C. Rister was blocked by Rooney's skate. Now work to the front of the net. Turning and shooting, never came. That one's popped on goal, and Solander made the save in the end. Looked harmless. I believe it was Picard who jumped in and took that shot that was held onto.
Yeah, Perry, looked like Picard activated herself, joined a rush in the slot, got a shot on goal. And a good positioning by Solander in front, top of the crease, went down in the butterfly, took everything away. Had to be a perfect shot to beat her. As RPI is getting tossed out.
Drop the puck. Whitney Wren will shoot it around. Bounced out of the circle. Harvard keeps it in. It's loose in the slot. Trying to turn with it was Christian. Couldn't quite corral it. Now it's Wren once more. That pass knocked Thomas down, but she was able to clear it out to center. Hilwa runs over Friesen, and she's going to take a penalty here? No.
It should, you know, if they had a good view, that should have been. I mean, the linesman really only had the perfect view.
Yeah.
The two refs were on either side of the play, and they really didn't see it. But, yeah, that should have been a cross-check.
Yeah. Hilwa just decked, I think it was Friesen, right in front of the RPI bench.
Yeah, they're actually discussing it right now, but there's probably more where the faceoff should have been. But
absolutely. Well, we're back to action here. Engineers maybe dodging a bullet there. There's only been one penalty in this game. And win against Harvard back in the first period. The Engineers unsuccessful, of course, as we're still scoreless. Here's Shayna Tomlinson up the wall for Grushaw. Lots of speed. She'll fire it in. She'll also win the race to the puck in the corner as she's bumped by Racklin. Stick handling and moving it up. It's stolen away by Tomlinson. Centering pass, Grushaw. That pass was in on her skates. Couldn't get the shot off. It'll be corralled by Zarzecki out to center. Horwood steals it away there. Engineers have had the better of the possession so far. Shot comes in, stopped there by Maschmeyer. Now Tomlinson, fed in front. Grushaw turning, firing a hit a skate. Grushaw again, a shot saved by Maschmeyer. Rebound put on goal. Where's the puck? It's in the net! Shayna Tomlinson with the goal, and it puts the Engineers on the board. She found it, Maschmeyer couldn't, and the Engineers have the lead. The goal for Tomlinson, if it is hers, it's her fourth of the season, and it's a 1-0 RPI lead.
Yeah, I think Horwood had a crack at it too, Perry. I'm not sure if that's the force behind the puck getting underneath the pad there of Maschmeyer. As we'll take a look at it and see who actually was the last stick.
As the puck is all the way down the ice, getting confirmation on Chicagoan for those who are either furious with us for not knowing that already or were curious along with us. Chicagoans.
Yeah, it was Tomlinson who got on the back door.
She celebrated first, which is usually the one who sees it go in. Either they see it go in first or they had something to do with it. That time Tomlinson picks up her fourth of the season. Puck through center ice. Banks has it for RPI. On for Rooney. Here's Mankey. Rister. Blocker saved by Maschmeyer. As the Engineers have come out firing here in this period to the side of the cage. Swatted at, kept in by Wren. She'll stick handle far side. Wren down low on the dump in. Mankey tripped up in the corner. Kimberly pinching up the boards. It's gloved down and moved out to center by Daniels. Shot right back in by Wren. So Tomlinson, the sophomore from Guilford, New Hampshire, picks up the goal as it's moved out to center ice by the Crimson. Shot in by Frazier. Out of the corner now, it's Zarzecki. Zarzecki still on it. Trailing the play, a shot comes and it goes wide. It came from the point and from Picard. And now Grushaw to center. Into the zone, makes a move. Still Grushaw, tied up and goes down with the defender. Engineers closing in the shots on goal. It's now 11-9 Harvard. It was 10-4 after one, so a good start to the second. We're not 7 minutes into the second period. Shot coming, blocker save on the try by, I believe it was Bohonic. Or Godin. Thomas off the boards and in deep. Picard. Chipped off the glass. Bohonic has it there. Here's Hilwa. Back for Banks. Back to Hilwa. Nearly lost it at the line. It leaves the zone. Huge collision. And they're onside, laying a shot, and that one goes just wide. It missed the far post. To the point. Rister coming. That one's blocked by Wash. Trickling wide of the goal. They're going to call this icing. I think Wash was just swatting at the puck. A lot of times if there's no control by the offending team, they won't call it icing, but this time they do.
No, she also can't just turn around and smack it down the ice.
That's true, too.
I think she wanted to play that a little softer than she did.
Right, exactly. So probably the right call. I was just commenting sometimes they won't if they don't think the player was intending to do that on a deflection or something along those lines. Hilwa bumps Dench off the puck. It's played behind now. Side of the cage. Touch pass by Heffernan back on. Turning and shooting is Dench, and that one's towed away by Solander. Mie Dench. 13 goals, 18 assists for 31 points for the senior. That one swatted out of the zone by Bohonic, who was playing rather high in the zone. But either way, he got the job done. Heffernan, circle, centering pass, knocked away again. It'll be kept in once more, however, by Mastel. Now carrying center, shot saved by Solander on the backhand try. Not a whole lot on it on the attempt by Dench, who now heads off in a change. Backhanded out of the zone by Menke. Engineers have a 1-0 lead. But it's Harvard on the attack. Shot coming, deflect over the top into the glass. That try by Krischik. Harvard continuing to put the pressure on. Tipped on goal. Saved by Solander. Rebound put wide as it's corralled by Rooney. Out to Menke as they skate back the other way. Menke, wrister. Glove saved by Maschmeyer, and she holds on.
Good flurry there by Harvard. Getting pucks deep, good deflection by Nikki Friesen on the doorstep of Solander. Second try, as you mentioned, Perry, couldn't get the handle, and it trickled just wide of Solander. So Harvard got a little wake-up call with that goal against him, and especially that top line of Daniels, Heffernan, and Dench.
Loose puck to the wall. Engineers have had some success here against solid teams in this building. That was a giveaway in front. Tomlinson, backhand shot save by Maschmeyer. Engineers have had some success. They beat Clarkson here when they were number 4 in the country, and then held Quinnipiac scoreless when they were number 4 in a 0-0 game.
I guess you got to be number 4.
I guess that's the key. Harvard not ranked, but generally is. It's been a long time since they haven't been on the women's side, as Horwood has it here. Tomlinson on for Gruschow, and that one hit the linesman on the far side. Not sure which Tobias it is. Adam and James are our 2 linesmen, both Tobias. As it's Dench one-handing it in front. Side of the net, Daniels turned away. May have hit the side of the net, but either way, it's kept out, and now Thomas to center. Steered right back the other way, Heffernan. Pulls it back. Worked back to the point now. Shot or fired pass near side. That one too hot to handle for Picard, and the Engineers are out to center. That one skips on through. I'll make it C rather, who couldn't handle that one. C around behind for Zadie. Godin pokes it loose. Wash. Finds some room, takes a shot right on, and a save by Maschmeyer.
Well, if you're going to solve this Harvard team, you look at that first line, of course. Heffernan, Dench, Daniels. Sydney Daniels has about 30 shots more than the next teammate on this Harvard offense. So she is a shooter. She likes to shoot. 110 shots on the season coming into this game. And that Tom line dominates their offense, and it's a sharp drop-off right after that.
Played up the boards. Wash keeps it in. And Rooney continues to work it into Harvard territory. Wash kicks it to herself, fed it in front, and it was knocked away. Out to center, come the Crimson. Lexi Lang. Far side into the zone they come. Centering pass broken up by Godin. Second try, there's a player in the crease. They're going to push this face-off outside the zone, and the puck actually ended up in the RPI net after the whistle, but no need to look at anything here. It was blown dead far before that happened.
Yeah, I actually thought the player, the Harvard player, kept that puck out. I don't know if it was Fusco who ended up in the net, but I think she played goalie there for a second for RPI's sake.
Either way, blown dead far before any mishap there for the Engineers. They lead 1-0 with 8:43 left in the second period. Dueling in the corner is Banks. Can't see the Crimson player. One of them is Krischik, and now it's going to be Grusha out for Horwood. Chipping it up the boards and in deep. Will it be icing? Good burst of speed from Tomlinson. Probably negated that icing there. Kept in by Grusha, fired wide of the goal. Sticked away anyway by Maschmeyer. Now Horwood cycling for Tomlinson, who has the lone RPI goal. Now to the point. Bohunic, Kimmerly, one-timer, deflected, and that one's going to be covered. Horwood got the deflection in front, but Maschmeyer in good position to make that save.
Yeah, you mentioned at the top of the broadcast, Perry, Maschmeyer's numbers are all league this year. Clinic in that top spot for Harvard. And there's no doubt that's a big reason why they're 14-9-2 overall.
Here is Mankey for RPI. Kimmerly over to Wren. Chops at the puck, keeps it in. Rooney had it stolen away, and now comes Sidney Daniels to center ice. Slowed up by Wren, then threw a stick way up high on Wren. And we play on. That one caught her in the shoulder to head area. Wash, slow pass to center, turned right back around by Harvard, and now Kimmerly. Left behind for Wren, 7.5 to go. Outlet pass, too far for the intended target, kept in by Friesen. Only for a second as Wash works to get it back out to center. Picard, one of the co-captains with Emirates Maschmeyer. You don't see a lot of goaltender captains. That's what Harvard has here. I believe Ryan Miller is a captain, as a goaltender for the Buffalo Sabres. Played behind the goal. Turning with it is Fusco. Now a centering pass out in front, covered by Solander, who had to keep her balanced while going for that one, leaving her post and covering it up.
Yeah, I don't know about that, Perry, that claim, that Ryan Miller claim. I don't know if the NHL does that.
You don't think it's allowed?
I just think it's not something that they do.
You think I made that up? It's possible.
It's believable. But then if the NHL, I don't think they do that. They don't have goalies, no matter how good they are and how much of their country they represent, as Ryan Miller does with the U.S. hockey.
Anyway, we will play on here. And it's going to be McKenna Thomas to center, glove down, but not kept out of the zone by Frazier. Now flipped into the Harvard bench. Watch out. Caught the assistant, I believe. Looked like Liz Cady over there. 08 Princeton grad, dodging out of the way of that loose puck.
Yeah, RPI's climbed back in slowly to this contest in shot total, 14-17. They trail by 3, but Harvard, you can sense some frustration, especially their fast forwards. They're not getting the chances they want to get.
Roberto Luongo is a captain of the Canucks. That's maybe what I was thinking of.
And Ryan Miller, of course,
now plays for the Canucks.
Right.
No, that could have been my confusion. I'm not sure. Anyway, Maschmeyer a captain, Picard a captain, but it is Heffernan for Harvard carrying the puck up ice. Turned away for a second. Mastel will move it on further into the attacking end. We're approaching 6 minutes to go in the second period. RPI with a 1-0 lead here on Harvard. Crimson with a 17-14 edge in shots. Is whipped around to the corner for Daniels. Trying to step through the check of Horwood. A collision there as Hansen knocked down one of the Crimson. That was Heffernan. Broken up at center ice. Crimson stay on it, however, and they make a change. Fed near side, good connection. Fanning on the first shot was Dench, and the second try was blocked away. And that was an interception in the offensive zone. Good stick tie-up. It skipped all the way through. In the air, past Fusco, and the Engineers move it out to center. Loose puck gathered by Godin. She'll cross center on the stick handle, avoid some Harvard sticks, and dump it in. Racklin on further, good connection. Couple passes into the zone. Lang, centering pass out in front. That one hops high in the air off a stick. And now Wash tries to gather, but she can't. Zarzecki, centering pass. Shot saved by Solander. Mankey feeds it to the corner. Played behind by Wash. Stolen away by Bohonic. Another giveaway in front, and they score off of it. Zarzecki with the goal. Her 8th of the season, and it's tied at 1.
Yeah, beautiful save by Solander right in the slot. A couple of defensive breakdowns where the wingers didn't collapse and cover that slot. And the first time was a great save, a great bailout for Solander, and then Harvard, you keep giving them the opportunity, and they're gonna take advantage.
Back to action here. Now off the Harvard goal. As it's Picard up ice. Run into by Hilwa, the puck in deep. Kimmerly shoots it off the boards and towards the point. Kept in there by Z. Skip to the circle. Picard a shot. Pad save. Poked but not out. Kept in by C. Cross ice pass blocked. And now moved out to center.
Harvard goal scored by number 12, Grace Zarzecki.
Here's Kimmerly now.
Goal 15 minutes, 6 seconds. Harvard goal scored.
Engineers having a little bit of trouble getting out of their own zone. Pop to the slot. Shot coming. Saved by Solander, and the try by Friesen. Wren. On for Grigsby. Stolen away. Grigsby tries to get back on it. Hilwa swings and misses, and now it's Harvard into the zone. Hilwa back out to center. Grigsby going to try to get down the end of this one. She's bumped off the puck. That clearing effort hit her skate, and the second effort hit her stick, but now it's out to center anyway. Friesen for Harvard. 3.5 to go in the second, and now a 1-1 game. Easy save there. On the try by Friesen on Solander. Now trying to get to the bench was Krischik. Shot from the point was blocked. And here's Tomlinson. Drop pass for Horwood. Backhander towards goal, looking for the deflection from Grushow. And now Grushow gives a whack to Lang. Let a few high sticks go in this one. Seemingly 1 or 2 each way. In the end, I'm sure everything will balance out, although there is just the one penalty in the game. It was a hook, and it went on Harvard. Falling down behind the net, Zarzecki, the goal scorer. She gets back up and keeps it in. Godin. She'll battle in the corner. More sticks flying. Lang. Back to the point. Shot was blocked by Horwood, but jumping right back on it. Racklin, another try that was blocked. And now Racklin down low. Watched there by Hansen. Behind the cage, shot coming off the side of the net. That was by Fusco. And now we get a whistle as it's covered.
2 blocks in a row by the RPI defensive unit. And of course, the luck of the draw, Racklin gets it right back both times. Union trailing Dartmouth now 3-1 over in Schenectady. They were holding them 1-1, and now it could be opening up there for Dartmouth. And Cornell is leading 2-0, so not in RPI's favor there.
No. Certainly did not expect the Dutchwomen to help out too much, but still, obviously, with them scoring, still a ways to go, as there is in this game. 2 minutes left in the second period. Here's Dench. Back for C, and now a cross ice feed. Crimson move it in. It's dumped in by Daniels. Raspa gave it away at the wall, but the Engineers get back on it. Mankey to center. No, it's broken up. Dench, centering pass. One-timer coming. And Daniels didn't get all of it. And Solander is able to stick it to the corner. Bohonic, saucer pass, center ice. Good connection to Raspa. She'll fire it in from center. Karam's off the back wall, then hits the back of the net. Good route to the puck from Picard, allows her to carry out to center. Michelle Picard off the stick of one of her teammates and into the RPI zone. Wren through center ice, got a bit of a inadvertent pick from Thomas. She'll go on the attack here now. Under a minute left in the period. Shots are 25-14 Harvard. The game 1-1. Off the wall. Pass hits some skates. And now through Friesen, but into the zone anyway. Kimmerly. 40 seconds to play in the period. Tomlinson kicks at it, stays in the zone. Helped out of there. Good strength there by Tremblay to work the puck free and dump it in. 27 seconds to go in the period. Thomas in the corner. Tremblay looking to dig it out of there. Still can't find the puck in the corner. Now Tremblay comes free. Good pass to the point for Godin. Godin turning and shooting. It's gloved down in the slot by a Crimson skater and cleared to center ice. Here's Hansen on for Godin. Off the wall, that'll do it for the second period. A good second period for the Engineers. They only had 4 shots in the first. They turn in 10 here in the second. And despite again getting outshot, they pick up the game's first goal. Harvard comes back to tie it at 1-1.
Yeah, Perry, almost a tale of 2 periods actually within that one. The RPI came out of the intermission ready to go. They had complete control, as you mentioned, their shots. And then Harvard ends up getting the last 8 shots of the period in a row. So Harvard completely controlled the second half of the period, got a goal to show for it, a couple of defensive breakdowns for both teams leading to their goals. And here we are sitting at 1-1.
Well, that will do it for our second period here. We'll be back with the third in just a few minutes. You are watching RPI Women's Hockey on RPI TV.
Okay, folks, at this time we'd like to invite you to come down closer to the boards and compete in the Ruck Chuck-a-Puck competition. The person whose puck lands closest to center ice will win. So we'll count it down for you. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Chuck your pucks. No favorites yet. Still no favorite. Any more? Looks like the last minute entry might happen, folks. The results have been tabulated, and it is number 63. Puck number 63 is the winner of tonight's Ruck Chuck-a-Puck competition. Congratulations to the winner, and thank you for your support. Puck number 63, our Chuck-a-Puck winner tonight. Hey kids, become a Junior Engineers Kids Club member today and experience the exciting world of RPI athletics. Kids Club member benefits include birthday parties, meet and greets, and full RPI athletics access. Log on to rpiathletics.com for more information. A reminder, folks, the RPI women's hockey team will take on Dartmouth College here at the Houston Fieldhouse tomorrow afternoon at 4 p.m. So come on out and support your Engineers as we celebrate Senior Day. RPI women versus Dartmouth, 4 p.m. tomorrow.
Just about set for period number 3 here. It's RPI and Harvard from the Houston Fieldhouse. Perry Lascaris and Jeff Morris on RPI TV. Jeff, an exciting third period upcoming with the two teams tied 1-1.
Yeah, implications all over the place, and this is pretty much the most important period that RPI is going to play so far this season. And if they come out the same way they came out the second, they'll be in good shape, but they've got to maintain a full 20 minutes.
Puck shot in by the Crimson. Jen Godin chops to center. Worked back in by C, but good connection back towards center ice to Laura Horwood, who dumps it in. Horwood, the junior from Belleville, Ontario, 6 goals, 7 assists on the season for 13 points. That including missing 10 games, or 8 games. Stolen away, kept in. Tomlinson pulls it back, takes a wrist shot. It was blocked by C. Tomlinson's been active in this game. She has the RPI goal. That one thrown towards the net, but it's knocked away. Up the boards, but kept in by Bohonic. Caitlin C., the freshman from Toronto, Ontario, 7 points in her young career in 25 games so far for the Crimson. Katie Rooney back for the Engineers, stick handling through center. Fed up to Wash. It's stolen right away. And then Bohonic throwing his shoulder into Friesen to break it up, but the pass back off the mark. Friesen and Wash go hard to the corner board. Centering pass picked up there. Backhand shot saved by Solander. Jumping on that one along the far side. I believe that was Zarzecki, who had the chance in front of the RPI goal. Shot in by Mankey. Mashmeyer out of her net to play it. Slapped around behind by Picard and now moved out to center ice. Kimberly over to Grigsby. Can she get it into the zone? Yes. Muscled it into Zadie, but in the end it's back out to center. Whitney Wren taking a look around. She'll find her classmate, Amanda Kimberly. Kimberly and Wren, both sophomores. Kimberly from Anoka, Minnesota. As it's tied up at the Harvard line, Hilwa plays it back to Wren. Wren spinning away from a bit of pressure, runs into Lang. And Hilwa decks another Crimson player, and here's Horwood now. Wrist shot was blocked, loose in the circle. Godin pinching in to keep it alive. Great play there. Centering pass in front, looking for Tomlinson, is stolen away. Now in front, kicked at by Horwood. Couldn't corral it, and it's played behind the goal. Fusco, stick handling towards center ice. Gruschow nearly lost their balance, but dives to keep it alive and keep possession. That pass through the stick of Horwood, shot in by the Crimson. It was Lang who dumped it in. Puck on edge, played by Hansen. The freshman from Copenhagen, Denmark. Works it near side and now up to Horwood, who dumps it in after crossing center. Third period, just 3 minutes old here. Shots are 26-14 Harvard. Is that a long outlet pass intercepted by Bohonic, but turned right back around by the Crimson, who in turn give it away to Banks. Mankey shoots it in off of a Harvard skater, and it's Picard out of the corner, plays it up the wall for Daniels. To center ice, poke free, and now Bohonic will try and track it down for the Engineers. Some pressure coming from Dench. Bohonic turns away from her and works up the board, stolen away. Dench trying to work it to the front of the net. She was whacked there on her way, and the puck came loose. Heffernan tied up by Mankey. Daniels now on the cycle. Mie Dench looking to track it down in the corner. Hands it off there for Racklin. And now down low, here's Daniels. Daniels to the wall, Rooney. Letting it run to the corner. Bohonic will pick it up. Harvard looking to get a change. Still early on in this third period in a 1-1 game. Shot in the air and out of play. We'll have a stoppage with 15:49 left on the clock, third period.
Yeah, this is more run and gun here for both teams. Chances at both ends. Horwood had all kinds of room in front of Mashmeyer. That puck just booted off her skate, something she couldn't handle.
Here comes Harvard into the zone. Hard shot off the glass by Krischik. from well outside. Here's Kimberly for RPI. Up the boards for Grigsby. Jamie Grigsby into the attacking zone. She'll play it off the wall, but it's read and controlled by Racklin. Friesen up the boards. Kimberly pinches in. Zadie off the wall. Raspa broke it up. Racklin again. They'll try the other side or on the near side. Touch pass off the wall for Friesen. Turned around by Godin, who shoots it right back into Harvard territory. Tomlinson, the first one to it for RPI. She's run into behind the cage, but stays on the puck. Finds Gruschow in the circle. Wrist shot coming. Saved by Mashmeyer. Loose to the side of the cage. Poked in front. Too far out in front for Horwood to corral. And now the Crimson will move it back to the neutral zone. Fired in by Hallett. And RPI has it once more. Horwood in the air, spinning puck, controlled by the strong stick of Gruschow. In the end, it's poke free. And now here's Zarzecki into the RPI zone on her backhand, fired wide. Caroms around to the near side half boards. Lang, stolen away. Bouncing puck at center ice. Who wants it? It'll be Banks. She'll move it into the offensive zone. Backhander wide of goal. Held by Mashmeyer, who will get a whistle.
A smart play by Brianna Banks, getting that puck on net while her all forwards are changing. She had some room there, and she elected to maintain possession and get that face-off in the offensive zone.
Kept in. A shot from the point from Banks went well wide. Zarzecki moves it out to center. Wash taps it back to Bohonic. Into the attacking zone, it's Wash. She gets double team off the boards for Rooney. Centering pass in front. And it was actually Mankey along the wall. Wash was in front looking for the tap in, but it was well defended by the Crimson. Wren on for Rooney. Stolen away. Lang, or make it Dench rather. Poke towards goal. Easy stick stop by Solander to the corner. Harvard out of their own zone now. Stolen away. Here's Hilwa by herself into the zone. Backhand shot up high. It was headed over the top of the net. And Hilwa was denied there by Mashmeyer.
Good couple exchanges there by the RPI offense. And Lauren Wash almost finding an empty net on the back door. And a nice play by Mankey and company for forechecking along that half wall.
Daniels. Some pressure from Horwood. She'll turn back towards her own corner. And I'll play it behind for Zadie. Zadie for Dench. Center ice broken up by the Engineers. Gruschow. Stick handling in the attacking zone. Takes a whack on the leg. Keeps on trucking into the zone. Fed right on through. Tomlinson nearly got her stick on it. Hansen down low. Tomlinson off the wall back to the point for Hansen. They just barely got there. Now Godin. A shot coming. Deflects on goal. Save made. Horwood in front. And it's going to be behind the goaltender. We get a whistle. The puck was never frozen, but the referee behind the net lost sight of it. A great heads-up play by the defender behind the goal. I don't know who that was, or behind Mashmeyer, I should say.
I think it was 80, yeah.
Because it just squirted out from behind Mashmeyer, and the referee saw that. But as soon as Zadie poked it back between the legs of Mashmeyer, they got the whistle.
Yeah, the ref then lost sight of it because, of course, he's behind the net, DeMarty Jr. actually, and he had to blow the whistle down.
Zarzecki shot over the top of the net, played behind the cage, centering punt, and a jam try. And the Engineers bottle that one up nicely defensively. I'm not even sure if Solander had to make a save there as RPI broke up the pass. It'll be shot in by Tremblay. First one to it, Frazier for Harvard. Into the RPI zone, Mankey turns around with it. On for Wash. Has a step, wrist shot coming. Glove saved by Mashmeyer, but she didn't hold it. Carried on by Mastel. Zarzecki over to Lang, who shoots it in. 11:47 to play in the third. 1-1 RPI and Harvard. Fanning on it was Mankey. To the point. Rister coming. Save made. Rebound, another stop by Solander. Two big saves there on Friesen. The one shot came from the point off the stick of C. Now to the circle, a shot over the top. Digging behind the goal. Turning with it there is Krischik. From the point, a shot. Saved by Solander. And it comes free to the half wall. Wren finding some space now as Harvard changes. Up ahead for Wash. Indirect off the wall, looking to find Rooney. Loose at center. Dench will work it to find some space into the RPI zone far side. That one headed wide. And now back come the Engineers to center. Horwood on for Wash. She'll just dump it in, relieve some of the pressure. Shots are 31-17 Harvard as we come up on halfway through this third period. Shot by Horwood and a kick save made by Maschmeyer. Engineers will look to work in the offensive zone now. A tie up and a couple players go down. Crimson come away with it. It's Picard. Until by that very low stride, that skating stance for Picard. The shot comes from Horwood. That was blocked. Hansen keeps it alive at the point. We are past halfway through the third period. 1-1 RPI and Harvard. Here's Godin. Through the middle. Nobody home. Picked up by the Crimson. It's Mastel. Far side broken up by Godin. Here's Daniels. She likes that spin move on her backhand to get free, and she used it again there to create some space. Mastel to center. Daniels digging it through the snow in front of her own bench. Fires it right onto the tape of Godin, who turns it around for the Engineers. Here comes Marissa Raspa into the zone. Pulls it back, takes a wrister, and a save is made by Maschmeyer. McKenna Thomas trying to get to it. Fusco trying to play it backwards. And it's Fusco who comes away with it for Harvard. Good connection to center ice. Zarzecki into the RPI zone. Banks ties her up, stands her up, and the Engineers clear to center. Played on further. Raspa was stood up at the Harvard line. And now Bohanek gives a couple shoves to Zarzecki. Thomas back for Banks. Trying to get away from Lang. Banks throws it right up the boards to Lang, or make it to Zarzecki, who is ready to go off on a change. This will be icing on Harvard. So that group who's just headed off the ice will have to stay on here for the Crimson. 8:41 left in the third period. 1-1 RPI and Harvard.
Yeah, this is a coaching battle now. The 1-1 game getting late into the game. You see John Burke using his number one line against Harvard's number one line, betting that they'll cancel out. He's going to put all his chips in that his second line's kind of better offensively than Harvard's second line.
Crimson work it to center ice, a little bit of space to work as Fusco dumps in. Now Harvard can get that change they were looking for. That's a big defensive face-off zone win for the Crimson. Here's Mari Mankey stopping up in front of her own bench. Long cross-ice feed, too far for Wash. Does not get a touch, and it's icing on the Engineers.
And what I mean by that, Perry, is that you look at the pluses on Harvard and the Engineers and who's the better defensive team and offensive team. And Coach John Burke gets the last change being the home squad, and he's trying to get his team the right personnel matching up against those Harvard lines.
Here's Whitney Wren. The former forward will go on the attack here, navigating a couple Crimson before dumping it in. Picard out of the corner, works it up the wall. Warner to center ice. Swinging and missing, that time was Thomas, and now it's a 3-on-1 for Harvard. Into the zone, a shot coming, saved by Solander, and she holds on as Friesen slams her stick to the ice in disgust.
Yeah, it's not the shot she wanted to make. Definitely one that Solander's going to gobble up. She needs to get that shot lower on the pad, on the right pad, for that juicy rebound in the slot, and she did not put it where she wanted it to be.
Offensive zone face-off win for Picard, who shoots it in. Trying to find Dench. Gruschow seals her off the puck and now controls. Fed to center ice, skips over the shoulder. Now Horwood's going to try and jump on it. Horwood to the net, backhand shot save. Rebound poked away. Tomlinson trying to center for Gruschow. And it's played behind the goal. Tomlinson, wraparound try, bouncing in, and Emmerance Maschmeyer will cover.
That's a great play by Caitlin C rather, for Harvard. Getting across the goal mouth on the positive side of the goal, negating Tomlinson's wraparound try.
Defensive zone draw win again for the Crimson. Outlet pass to center ice. Heffernan overskated by Horwood, picked up Grushow, but Horwood has a step now into the zone. Horwood, toe drag, slot coming, shot coming. That one hit a shin pad. Got Racklin. Tomlinson skates it down to the top of the zone, kept in by Banks. And now gathering is Zadie for Harvard. To the line. Daniels will turn back towards her own end. Stick handles through 2 Engineers. She left Hilwa reeling, but in the end just dumps it in. 6:48 to go in the third. Still a 1-1 game. It's pretty much what we expected from these two teams. It's what we saw of these two in Boston earlier this year. There's a collision behind the net. Hilwa works it free, trying to center, stolen away. Now back comes Harvard the other way. Zarzecki. She has the Harvard goal. Stick handling through Bohunic, draws a penalty, loose puck, and we get a touch and a whistle. And a big power play coming up here. It's going to be a body check. It was a hip check when it was all said and done on Hannah Bohunic after she got beat a little bit there by Zarzecki.
Yeah, you know, if it's another league, that's a great play. But in women's hockey and division, no matter what division you're playing, you can't impede with the body first. And that's exactly what Bohunic did.
Harvard power play 15.9% on the season, and the Engineers can't clear. That was Rooney trying to get it out. Second effort again kept in. Great play at the blue line by the Crimson. I think it was Picard over there, and it was. And a third effort will get it out by the Engineers. Or correction, that was Frazier at the blue line for Harvard. A couple of good stabs at keeping that puck in the zone. Now here is the aforementioned Frazier into the zone. Shot coming and a save by Solander. And again, right into the breadbasket from the Crimson. Not what they're looking for there either.
And Harvard's power play isn't anything to write home about, Perry. They're struggling around 15%. I mean, that's a little bit below average. Definitely below where they want to be at the season.
RPI on the kill, 65 for 80, 81.2%. Not where it was earlier this year either. Shot coming, that one's blocked by Kimberly, one of the conference leaders in block shots, and now her slapping clear attempt by Grushow gets out of the zone. C works it in. Pops out, now a chance to skate shorthanded. It's Grushow with Horwood, gives it to her. Horwood into the zone. She'll carry it to the circle, shot was blocked, and now back comes Picard up the boards. On for Heffernan, into the RPI zone. Make it Daniels rather. Daniels around to the point. C works it down low. Back up top. C, a slap shot coming. That one's blocked by Horwood. She can't clear. Heffernan to the point for C. Picard, wrister, right on, and a save by Solander.
Laura Horwood took that shot right in the right hand. She's keeled over going to the bench. She's got a grin on her face, and the glove is off, but I'm sure that one's going to sting for a bit.
She hurt her hand earlier this year. That's what caused her to miss 8 games, so we have to be at least up here hoping that was not the same hand. But as you said, grimacing, but a bit of a smirk. Engineers get the clear. 25 seconds to go on the Harvard power play. Carly Heffernan into the RPI zone, makes a move in front, and that one's broken up by Jen Godin at the last second. RPI fires it all the way down. That should just about do it for the power play as Mashmeyer stops the puck. 5 seconds left on it. Shots are 35-21 Crimson. As out of the box comes Bohunic. Harvard still in the attack. A shot and a pad save by Solander. So 5 aside here with 4:17 to go in regulation. Here's Wash up the wall. She'll play it in. Mastel. That came off a skate right back to Mastel, who fires it to center ice. Couple of deflections and offside is the result as Lexi Lang was trying to move it into the zone. Update from the men's score. I believe they are getting ready for the third period. So after 2, it's 2-1. Engineers, Jake Wood and Kenny Gillespie with the RPI goals. They're at number 9 Harvard, the 18th ranked men's side, looking to bounce back from a 3-game losing streak, including a tough loss to Clarkson in the Big Red Freakout last Saturday. But here we have 3:51 to play. RPI and Harvard, the Engineers, looking to solidify the 8th seed, or maybe even do a little more if they're able to put together a little bit of a run in the last 4 regular season games. Banks tied up along the wall. Lang lobs it deep into RPI territory. Out to center ice. Turning with it is Raspa. Into the attacking zone. A wrist shot was headed wide, and Maschmeyer will hold anyway.
And this Harvard team, very interesting as far as their offense. I mean, the goalie's got great numbers. You look down the line, Maschmeyer with those numbers should have a better than 10-9 record, Perry.
Right.
And that just tells you that their offense is struggling a little bit, and they're not getting the production they want out of all 4 lines.
C off a skate into the zone. It was poked free from Heffernan, but she'll jump on it now. Help to the corner. Mie Dench. She'll work it to the point. Great keep again with a skate. That was Picard this time. Stayed in the zone. Daniels, a slapper. That took a deflection off a skate and worked to the far wall. Josephine Hansen has it poked away. Heffernan, toe drag to the circle, centering pass in front. Solander going which way in that, and the puck never came to her as it's cleared to center and then shot back in. Hansen now on the carry. Center ice for Rooney. She'll turn up ice 1-on-3 in the attacking zone. Teammates changing behind her. Held things up just long enough as now is Krischik to work it to the RPI end. Kimberly using that long reach to just shield the puck away, but they give it away at the line. Shot coming. Glove stopped by Solander and the try by Zarzecki. Center ice connection. Here's Rooney into the attacking zone. Katie Rooney has it stolen away by Mastel. Under 2 minutes to play in regulation. Connection to center ice there. Mankey fed up the boards for Rooney. Has Wash with her. Rooney, a wrist shot along the ice. Easy save for Maschmeyer, and she will cover.
Okay, Rooney had to go for a change, so why not get it on goal? You can't fault her for that. Gets the offensive zone draw. With the last minute, 44 left in this game. I spoke too soon about the quickness of this regulation game. If we go into overtime.
Right, well.
Still might end up earlier than most regulation games.
Yeah, we're looking at an hour 45, you're right. For at least the first 3 periods, but there could be more. There's an offside whistle on the Crimson.
Late in the 3rd period over in Providence, you got Brown trailing Cornell 4-1 and Dartmouth leading Union 3-1 in Schenectady. So everybody around RPI winning. RPI's got to do their part too.
Up the boards. Thomas flips it across the line, but the Crimson shoot it right back out, and then Banks will return the favor. Played at center by Grushau. Groden will track that puck down. To center ice for Tomlinson. In the air off the glove of C. She'll track it down in her own end. Picard back for C. Lots of pressure comes from Raspa. Broke up the pass. Raspa's offside. She'll need to touch up. That slowed Grushau's entry into the zone and eventually led to her losing the puck. Picard up the boards. Godin spins and throws it blindly in the middle of the zone. Luckily for her, Grushau was there to help out. Godin over to Hansen. 42 seconds to play in regulation. Shot in by Raspa. Here is Hansen once more. Good connection through the neutral zone. Into the zone is Hansen. Pulls it back, takes a shot. Glove save. Trying to use Mastel as a screen, but it looked like Maschmeyer saw enough of it to glove it.
So Burke bringing out his second line. This is what I was alluding to earlier. Second line.
Wren. One-timer coming. Deflects on goal. Covered by Maschmeyer. No. Rebound put up top. And it's held onto by Emmerich Maschmeyer, as it was Mankey who, I believe, put her hands up. She thought she had a goal, but she was denied.
Yeah, she probably didn't get enough of that. I mean, she was literally a foot in front of Maschmeyer, so had nowhere to go but upstairs.
Oh, mishandled pass there. Engineers regather at center. 12 seconds to go in the period, and now we have a penalty being called here. It's going to be a trip, and I believe they're going to get Wren. And this is inadvertent and a tough time to make this call above all else.
Yeah, that's Nick DeMarty Jr. calling Whitney Wren.
Oh boy.
For obstruction tripping. It could have gone interference.
Yeah. That's a tough call, but the Engineers are going to have some work to do, including the final few seconds here. 8 seconds to go in the period. Power play for Harvard. Wrist shot coming. Deflected over the top of the net. 2 seconds to the side of the cage with one. Fed in front. That one's off the pad of Solander, and we will head to overtime, but the first minute 49 of that OT session will be power play time for Harvard.
Yeah, Perry, just a tough call, but you know, if you're going to get a stick in the legs of an opponent right in front of the ref, doesn't matter where you are on the ice or how far the puck has left the vicinity. I mean, if he lets that go, then he's got, you know, Harvard to deal with. And that's not the tone they've been setting the whole game. And there's only been a few penalties, to your point. And both these teams have played a very clean game. It's been a lot of open ice. It's been very quick, as we've mentioned. Finishing an hour 47. They don't get much quicker than that, especially with a couple goals, but yeah.
We'll take a very brief break and be back with this OT session. 1-1 RPI and Harvard. Underway here in OT. Played behind. And now a clearing effort. Not out yet. Jam tried the side of the cage. Save made by Solander. Picked up by Picard or Rister. That one hits bodies in front. And a third effort on the backhand, no. As RPI holds its ground right in front of Lovisa Solander. And now it's cleared out by Tomlinson. Drop pass at the point. Heffernan gets it back. Heffernan now on for Daniels. 55 seconds left in the power play. Picard, touch pass in front, turning his Dench, rebound in front, and now a wraparound try, and it's cleared on a diving effort by Menke. C gives it to Heffernan. Just the solo forecheck pressure on the kill. It's Mari Menke for RPI from Hopkins, Minnesota. She'll be one of the 6 seniors honored tomorrow on Senior Day. Here's Bohonic. She'll try to ring it out near side, kept in by Fusco, or make it Friesen rather. Slap shot coming, pad save by Solander on the try by Mastel. 9 seconds to go on the power play. Fed towards the point, it was broken up. Out of the box comes Wren. The Engineers kill it off, but are still in danger. That one whistled wide of the goal. Hansen now takes over. RPI can look to break out. Tipped along by Menke. Into Harvard territory, back to get it Frazier. Not enough on it for icing. Thomas and Frazier go down hard in the corner. It's gloved down and we get a whistle here. No penalty, just want to make sure that Frazier's okay. Now she hops up quickly, but she'll skate off. It looked like maybe got her arm twisted around, her shoulder twisted around when she went hard into the wall.
Yeah, one of those directions or one of those orientations, the body goes into the wall like that, it could spell that the shoulder comes out. Dislocation. And she's definitely holding her shoulder over there on the bench, so that's a possibility.
2:49 to play in OT. Engineers right now looking at a very big point, but can they make it 2? Or can Harvard come steal one here? Heffernan spins it in front, glove down by Wren, played off for Wash, who works it ahead for Tomlinson. Tomlinson flips it into the Harvard zone, and no, it's in her own bench. And they'll draw a stoppage. We're halfway through OT here at the Houston Fieldhouse. 1-1 RPI and Harvard.
Well, Harvard got their top line out. It's sort of a mixture of lines as Lauren Wash now comes and plays winger for Grushow and Tomlinson. So John Burke trying to mix anything up and get some all things offense for the next 2 minutes.
Tomlinson, a little bit of room to work. She'll move it into the zone. She has the lone RPI goal, feeds it on goal. Stick save made by Maschmeyer. Here is C. Behind for Heffernan. Picard spins away from Grushow. Works it up the wall. Mie Dench into the RPI zone. Poked away from her. At the point, Heffernan up the boards for Dench, and now Daniels. Wrist shot from a tight angle, blocked by Godin. Right down to her feet, and she'll carry out to center ice. Tomlinson helps it in deep. Minute 43 to play in OT. Raspa at the wall, turns and spins it down low. Lost in the skate, shot by Raspa, blocked. And now Harvard a chance to break 3-on-2 as they cross the red line. Fed in front, and that one steered away. Good defensive effort by Bohonic, negating that 3-on-2 chance as it was Krischik trying to make the centering pass. Now Krischik again, shooting the puck away from Banks. Stopped with a stick, covered by Tomlinson, or excuse me, by Solander. I beg your pardon, with the blocker hand.
Yeah, Perry, Abby Frazier for the Crimson getting escorted to her locker room on that last play with McKenna Thomas getting tangled up there. She probably won't be returning. Looked very gingerly, definitely not the legs, definitely the shoulder. As a timeout is going to be called here by RPI. They try to settle things down on what they want to do here for this defensive zone draw. To the right of Solander.
Checking out other scores while we have this break. Cornell on top of Brown, 4-2 in the third. Clarkson beating Princeton 2-1. Dartmouth over Union, 3-1 late in the third period. Colgate won, Yale nothing there in the third as well. Quinnipiac 3-0 over St. Lawrence. That was a final. That was a 5 o'clock start. Here we have minute 14 to play in OT. Perry Lascaris, Jeff Morris here on RPI TV. We thank you for joining us this evening. It's been an exciting back and forth game. RPI looking to pick up some points, try to maintain their spot in the final 8. Remember, on the women's side, only the 8 teams make the conference tournament, whereas opposed to the men's side of things, all 12 teams make it. Top 4 get byes, second 4 host the bottom 4 in the first round.
Yeah, and the only thing going right now for the other teams with the RPI women is Yale losing.
Right.
So RPI gets 1 point now for the tie, or for going into.
Well, they need to hold on to the tie.
They need to hold on to the tie if they hold on.
Not like the pros. It's not in the bag yet. In fact, it won't be until the game's over.
No.
There's no in the bag.
I caught myself.
There is no bag to stick this tie in as it's cleared all the way down the ice. It was actually off a Harvard stick, so no icing. Mashmeyer out of her net. We've seen her a couple times be confident to play that puck. Don't see it a whole lot on the women's side, but she very apt to coming out and playing the puck. Here's Godin. That pass too far for Grushow, and this will be icing as she could not beat Picard down the ice. And RPI just used its timeout, so they'll have to keep this group on there.
Yeah, you know, Harvard will not be using theirs right now. In fact, they want to line up as quick as they can. And look at Grushow just taking her time to get to that dot.
Saving as much time as she can. Shot was blocked, picked up by Grushow. Can't clear it out, kept in by Picard. Now Wash moves out to center. If they have any juice left, they can move in 2-on-2. No, it'll be Thomas. Just help it to the corner. Engineers will get the change they're looking for. 26 seconds to go in the game. Turned around in the circle. Grushow walking in. Wrist shot coming. That was blocked. It pops right over his stick. Kept alive by Godin. Still loose in the slot. Tap to the circle and a chance for Harvard to clear, and they will. And now they can maybe break 2-on-1. Into the zone. Zarzecki in front. Put just wide. And the try by Lang. 6 seconds to go. Puck to center for Tomlinson. 3, 2, 1. And that will do it. A hard-fought tie for both of these teams, 1-1. The Engineers get a much, much needed point out of this game to try and keep pace. They'll have a now big game tomorrow against Dartmouth that could really kind of seal up whether or not they're headed to the postseason.
Yeah, not the complete result they were looking for, but a fine effort versus an upper echelon team in the ECAC is Harvard. And Perry, like we mentioned, you can kind of see why Harvard's struggling on offensively this year, even though they have a winning record, 10-6-2, now 10-6-3 in the ECAC. They've had a couple chances. They had a chance to win the game 20 seconds ago on that 2-on-1. Grushow was out there way too long. She needed to change 30 seconds ago. She did not change when they dumped it in the zone. You know, John Burke's trying to say get out there and play as long as you can, but there's so many times this season when she is just gassed. And you don't want to be gassed on the defensive end of things and have to back check.
Absolutely. Well, shots were 43-26 Harvard in the end. Faceoffs 27-21 Crimson. Just the few power play chances. RPI 0 for 1. Harvard 0 for 2. 7 shots on the power play. So credit Lavisa Solander, who ended up with 42 saves in the game, 7 of them coming on those 2 power play chances. And of course, the big one that went into overtime, most of that power play for Harvard was in the overtime period there. The second one, and the Engineers stood tall on both occasions.
Yeah, you got to credit the killers for RPI coming up big. They're blocking a lot of shots. We saw that. Getting in the lanes, diving to make plays, getting pucks out. Not a lot of failed cleared attempts tonight, which translates into safety for the defensive zone players and being able to get the change. It's tough in this building when you're the home team and you go into overtime, because then you have a long change. The way the boards are set up here, it's great for the first or for most games when you only play two out of the 3 periods. You've got a close or closer change, but for the overtime, it's tough. So there we have it, 27-21. Your face-offs in Harvard's. For Harvard, 43-26, as Perry mentioned. Your shot totals, both teams did not convert on their power play attempts. 0 for 2 for Harvard, 0 for 1 for RPI. Harvard getting 7 shots on the power play, all denied by Lovisa Solander. So that'll do it here for RPI TV. I'd like to thank you for watching. Perry Lascaris, Jeff Morris on the call. We'll be back at it again. RPI women are right back here tomorrow at 4 o'clock at the Houston Fieldhouse, taking on Dartmouth, another team in contention with a lot of implications on how this season will shake up, especially into the playoffs. Right now, Dartmouth sitting at 10. They will be looking to gain 2 points here at Union as that game finishes up. They're up 3-1 in Schenectady. They got to handle that. They would be up 2 points in the standings, so that'll put them at 15. And Rensselaer improves to 18 points. And those two teams will square off in a huge battle tomorrow, Saturday at 4 o'clock, right here at the Houston Fieldhouse. So we'd like to thank you for joining us. Good night.